Alright. Good morning, evening or afternoon to you wherever you are in the world. My name is Felix, also known as Fulgrim, and I will be your travel guide through Berlin today. I'll be playing a little bit of a different game. It's not necessarily a first-person shooter or something akin to that. It's more like XCOM in a sense. And you don't have to fear about lead or bullets in general. We have plenty of that in here. Alright, I'll be starting the game on the click here, and we can start the countdown in 3, 2, 1, go! So, a little bit of stat optimization here. Just need to make sure we have all the necessary skills. We need mainly DACA, most important, and we need a few skills to have conversation options. That is what we took here in the end, namely gang and security for starters, and later on corporate. Hey, welcome everyone. Yeah, easy. I know. I'm a filthy casual. So yeah, as you can already see, you have normal grid patterns here basically, and you will be able to see the first speed tech here already. We try to click as far away from our current position as possible, because that makes the character move faster for some odd reason. So that is basically what we try to do a lot of the time. You can't infinitely accelerate. That's bad. Usually you can get a faster waypoint here. So you have a terminal velocity, which will come into play later on. Yeah, don't worry. I'm doing it on the fastest difficulty. So this fight is the first fight, obviously. It has some problematic sometimes. There's a guy coming from the south, and if he's not cooperating, this will take a while. But usually it doesn't. We move that woman up because she gets killed in the next scene, so we don't really care about her hit points. She will be our melee character, Glory, which is used to flush people out of cover. Right now you see a lot of people sitting in cover, and that makes shooting at them very difficult. So we use that character to pull her out of cover, or pull them out of cover rather, and then finish them off with the rest of our team. That's bad. I mean, that's why I like to run this game, but why it's also sometimes very, very frustrating, because you miss these 70 or 80%ers. Is this similar to XCOM series? Yes, I would say so. It's obviously not from the same franchise. It's based in the Shadowrun universe. That was very good. We want to kill as many people as quickly as possible so they don't take actions. But yeah, we have a bunch of stuff going on. A small note regarding timing in general here. We have discovered a boatload of new strats literally the last week. So it is highly likely that this will be a world record run. The current world record is 2:22:33. That's really good. And everything is going according to plan here. You saw me end the turn there because we don't have targets. We don't want to move characters if we don't have to. This is actually insane. 3:30 for this segment is very quick, which is I also have my splits running in the background because I'd like the splits for the record run. Alright. So here, basically, what this girl is, Monica, she's a hacker. So she jacks in and she gets fried by an AI. You will have a very lovely picture of her to the right hand side in a second. That's her. Not the healthiest of condition, I would say. So we can theoretically one-turn this fight. We can double shoot here. Okay, that's good. We need her to hit. So this guy's out of cover. Nice. And now we go haste on him to get another another action point, and then we can theoretically kill him if this crits. Okay, that's good. Now we have to open the door. Then we basically just sit here and make sure we don't get killed by a guy with a very, very big rotary gun. Also here trying to move as far as possible with every move, because the movement physics also apply to movement in combat. Going into Overwatch here to make sure that the character who comes up here just immediately gets blasted. Sometimes you can kill him in the first turn. Oh, that means we can't. Sometimes it's not worth it to kill this guy if he's out of cover, because it just takes so long to kill him actually. But I think in this constellation we just can kill him. But yeah, basically this... Oh, that's bad. Basically in this run you have a combination of things that happen. It is between like direct execution, that is the guy with a rotary gun. Between like good... Holy shit. Full auto also pulls people out of cover. So if he's out of cover, you can kill him easily, but he didn't. So... Okay, that makes up for it. Basically what I did here is the Dragon Slayer icon. You just sit there and take reduced damage, which is important. Because this guy will soon start to open fire in significant amounts. Okay, that's good. Basically all of these guys also have trauma kits, so that's nice. Come on. So even if they go down, we can technically not necessarily revive them, but they get back up on their own, so that's nice. You don't really want the main character to die here, because you need the or you want his medkit or his revive pack for later on. It's a bit of an issue that he's lacking behind here. Okay, everything missed, so this is basically easy mode from here on out. And this looks like a gold split so far. The first fight was absolutely insane, I have to say that, despite Monica missing her first volley. But that happens sometimes. So yeah, basically we will retreat now because the run went haywire and now we need to retreat. And she's the last member of our team. That's a gold split by okay, by about 10 seconds. That's pretty good. Quite glad. Certainly world record pace, yes. Even without the new strats. So what we now see is the hub world. It's called the Kreuzbazar. It's basically just an area where you walk around and do shit. 1 second, I need to do a skip here, or rather a scroll here. Okay, that's sometimes a little bit hard to get, because if you misclick by like a few pixels, yeah, great, you don't get the maximum movement speed, and that's really annoying. So, a little bit of mashing here, we just get introduced to Paul Amsel, which is basically, Amsel is a mockingbird, so he's basically our fixer and gets us the jobs and stuff like that. Also continuing the trend of Devil May Cry and Wolfenstein: A New Order yesterday, we also have dogs here, so hooray for dogs. Feel free to spam Frankasy in chat. So basically what we'll do here is our first field trip, and you can hopefully we can see a drive-by here. Can't, okay. Basically what that is annoying pickles. God damn it. Yep. We should see it on the next item though. What will happen is you move around, and while you're in the hitbox of the item, you will continue moving here, like this. And that's has an advantage because it cancels the animation basically. So you move faster and do the stuff, or keep moving into a certain direction while you do the other stuff. So that's nice. Okay. This is very risky. If you miss the click here, you have to scroll back all the way down, and that's a bit annoying. So we don't care about this conversation because we want to go fast. We just head back here. Let's see if we can hit the drive-by. I was clicking on intermediate waypoints here because this is terminal velocity, so we don't really care and we want to get the character moving as soon as possible. Let's see. Yep, that's good. Also, as you noticed when we entered it for the first time, the character basically just stands there and does something else, and that's a bit slow, so doing drive-bys in general is very good, wherever you can. So that's not terminal velocity, but it's faster than taking a waypoint over there and then going down a different route. So now we go to Drogenkippe. Nice. Usually you're not like you have basically a 2-frame window to put an input here, and the character moves a little bit faster if you get it before the pop-up. So that's nice. From gun, yeah, gotta go fast. Whoop. Ah, didn't get it here. Woo! Another gold split. We're on pace. We're on pace, lads. Ah, fuck! I forgot to level. I should have talked. So what happens now is we get a karma pop-up. And if you can level while walking, and you want to do that so you don't get these karma pop-ups, because leveling while not moving is slow. But I fucked up. So I have to click this. It's quick enough though. So here you will see the first thing, or the first application of karma sliding. Basically you switch to your PDA, and usually the conversation starts here, but you want to get closer to this character so you don't have to accelerate for so much. So you can just open your PDA, and if the thingy doesn't have the conversation 1, 2, 3, 4. If the conversation doesn't have a coded hard stop, you can slide past it, and we use that in a lot of in a lot of situations. And in one instance, for example, we skip an entire fight and we trivialize another, so that's pretty good. 1989. So yeah, we're breaking into this guy's apartment who's got information on the Harfield Manor, where we just escaped from. And fittingly, his room code is 1989 because he's surveilling this whole operation. Let me check. I need... Next code is 91612. Okay. So we're using another drive-by here to get right in front of this and talk to the corpse. Also, I would like to draw your attention to the soundtrack because it's very insane. I don't think it does. 2, 3. Okay. Here you will see the new, like literally 3 days ago we found this. It's called clipping. If you mash fast enough, you can run through walls, which is really silly. And it's sometimes a little bit faster. So we recruit our decker here. So yeah, basically like a week ago we started finding a lot of shit. There's a sequence break here where you can skip right to the end of the mission if you click fast enough, but we couldn't replicate it. And that's how we found clipping actually, so that's nice. And that lets us skip another 2 fights later on. Sometimes faster. Yeah, you can do it in different areas, but it's just It's just swaggy and not really helpful. While it's like 6 or 7 inputs a second, it's not that much. Yeah, that's not surprising. That's like... right now we're 4 minutes ahead on world record. That's a goal split as well, because usually we ended up fighting, but we don't actually have to, so we're not. There's basically just an entire vault of enemies back there, and you could clear those out. Smashing your head against the wall makes it faster. Yep, that's basically what this is. Or clipping, that is. So we got the option for crew advancements. Here we take the waypoint on the back because it's faster. And here we start to partial level. Basically you can level and skill while moving. And obviously because you're moving you're not losing time. So now you need to organize replay equipment. Okay. That's that part done. So shorty. World record. Yeah, this, like, as I said, like, this is likely going to be a world record. Come on. Ah, perfect. So 1, 2, 3, 2. Okay. So we're basically talking through this to this jammer, to this lowlife, and persuade them through our charisma that it's nicer. That we have more money than he should have, so we're good people all around. So now we're basically watching through the requiem of that guy. That guy being the guy who was found dead in his apartment. Yeah, and if you hold down enter and you have the text speed on fastest, you basically skip these frame perfect, which is really good. Mashing is considerably slower. And now because everything is hidden, we need to figure out how to get into the half-filled manor again, and, or rather, what is below the half-filled manor that keeps on killing us. Whoa, well, that should be a follow. I might need to disable that. But yeah. Investigate the machine. Basically, this guy, or this girl, is a very good hacker, and we want to enlist her services, and we need a boatload of cash for that. So we're basically doing runs just to make enough money. I don't actually have anything open that should trigger alerts. I'm very confused. Alright. Yeah, 50,000 new yen, so also the currency in general is new yen, or technically in Europe it should be euro, but this is not 100% canon apparently, but still. So now we're leaving for our first job, and the guy we're talking to is Samuel Beckenbauer. He's a troll, and he basically makes sure we, or makes sure that homeless people stay off the street and feeds them here, and you can donate money throughout the run. Okay, karma slide. Okay. So basically what we did here, you saw the animation there already, we stored the input, so as soon as, yeah, we instantly get the pop-up. Yep. That's another goal split. Who dares interrupt the runner with alerts when talking? Yeah, I have no idea. From another scene. Oh, bugger. Yeah, that could be it. Well then. If it gets too annoying, I'll make sure to shut it off. So now you will see that we don't get an alert pop-up. We have, or karma pop-up, we have 3 karma spare, but as long as you stay beneath 3 karma, you're good and you're not getting other additional karma pop-ups. Sometimes can get a drive-by here. It's not significantly faster, but it saves a little bit of time. So basically what we're now going to do is we, in true, thank you Tetronic, that's the guy who found a lot of the new stuff, by the way, or made it applicable. Wait. Oh shit. I need to reload. I went too fast. Yes, Prototype Alpha, that sounds like a terrible idea. Where is my OBS? Shit. I don't actually know where that scene button is, so... Now's your chance to get a free alert in. So yeah. Usually you just talk to the gangers here, and I went too fast, so I can't. Because otherwise you will just have to kill all of these fucks, and that takes very, very much time. So here we got the drive-by. So, first try every time, right? But yeah, as I said, we're going to kill some neo-fascists here. I already screwed one thing up. It only took away 30 seconds. It's fine. Negotiate with the gangers. Etiquette. Charisma. Alright. That's how it should go. So basically what happened here is our tattooed guy over here is a shaman. And he has his nephew trapped in here. Those are basically, like, as I said, neo-fascists, and they hate everything non-human. Obviously in a world with elves, dwarves, centaurs and shit like that, you tend to hate on a lot of things. So don't be a hater. And Dietrich really wants to get his nephew out, so that's why he talked to us prior to the run. And yeah, we actually get the option to free said nephew, and he will help us in gunning down the fascists. So here we need to grab purity. Okay, so here we need to grab a backup trauma kit. That's basically not important until the very end of the run, which I will not spoil for you because it's so very malefic. But yeah, we have to grab it here. We basically need a grand total of 3 trauma kits. That's pride. Okay, so we have we're basically fighting this guy called Volker Stahl, and we need to blow him up here. You can theoretically one-turn this entire fight. It doesn't happen very often though, so let's see if Fortuna does help us a little. Okay. This guy only has 10 hit points, so literally a stiff breeze kills him. As long as this stiff breeze is coming from an assault rifle, so that gets him down. Electrocore is a very good ability that strips armor, makes people lose action points. We haven't seen much of that yet, but it's very bloody useful because it allows you to take actions away from them, and that means that they're not acting, which is basically equivalent to killing them. It's a shame that guy survived. But that should be an easy fix. Yep. Fixed. So let's move up here. We can't wait longer than one turn on this door, though the fascists will start pouring in. So this is a bit of an execution-heavy area, so I won't be talking too much. There is a new route that Tetronic has worked on, rather, or has completed, which is much faster than my current route. which basically just uses one character and just runs through this entire section using drugs to amp up your movement speed. Don't do drugs, kids. But I haven't routed that out entirely, so I prefer to go for the old one. In general, there's a couple of sections where you can probably, which you can probably optimize by just playing one character, but it's a lot different from what we're doing right now, so. Drugs are bad, okay? Exactly. This guy gets it. So, if you want to get real fancy in this, that's pretty bad. If you want to get real fancy, you can try to kill Dietrich, or rather get him killed, because as cruel as that sounds, we get the karma from saving his... Oh no, that's... choosing things in melee range is sometimes a little bit of a pain. If you kill Dietrich, you don't get the pop-up to that you... to save his nephew at the end of the turn, so that's good. We might actually need to heal that guy, though. We might hit the hay. Oh my goodness. This fucking turret. But yeah, the split is already terrible, so... Because of the reload, that is. So you move up. Flush him out of cover. Why is... Oh, right, because we full autoed him. The only drug speedrunners are allowed to use a speed. Yeah, well... About that. Might be not legal in your current jurisdiction, right? Okay, that's good. I'm using the gun here sometimes because it actually increased... Like, it does more damage. At least at the start of the run, which means that you can just push them out of cover to negate their cover bonuses and then finish them off with a gun. Just doing a full reload here. There's a guy at the end of the corridor and I want all my guns ready prior to that. Also, she has an ability that is called Adrenaline Pump, and it gives her an additional action point, so that's what you see me activating there. Hopefully this guy doesn't get shot again. This fella doesn't have a grenade, so I'm not too worried. Pump up the gem, lads. Flush him. Like, if you are posing a flank to people, they will automatically leave their positions, or rather try to seek more cover, which is really nice. That's really good. As I said, if possible, I want Dietrich dead by the end of this. So that's nice. Nice that the AI is cooperating. Probably finish him off. Oh, not quite. That should... No, no! Mouse accuracy, please. Okay. Move up. That one's full. That one's sufficiently full. Okay. There's a bunch of enemies in here, which is why I don't want to trigger them right away. I want to be in the best position possible and then go and tear them to pieces. Actually, you can just run through here, so I just do that. Just need to exit the scene here, which is probably much faster than killing them all. That's something I never thought about most of the time, just running past a lot of things, but Tetronic really really stepped it up in that regard. Just checking all the endings, or rather all the exits. He is also the current world record holder for Shadowrun Returns, which is the first Shadowrun part. And you run a lot there, so that would explain it. Okay, not quite. So this guy should be able to exit. Yep. Him out. She's not yet out, but they're both fine hit point wise. That's a bit risky. I don't want him to go down. It gives us karma that we need later on. Karma is of course the experience equivalent that you get after missions. I think because of this, because we're not killing all of these much faster, and we still might save time, because usually I just kill these guys. Or I used to kill these guys, which is a lot slower. But yeah, in moments like this you really notice how communities in general really improve speedrunning, because if you have more pairs of eyes looking on certain situations, you will figure out what's the most optimal thing, or the quickest thing. And sometimes you just don't approach certain problems from certain angles, and can just alleviate that by having more people. So here's a bunch of people. We just need to kill them. She has... yeah, okay. Just want to make sure she had a trauma pack, in case she went down. Shooting this guy here because he's out of cover, that means we have the most damage on him. Or rather the highest chance to actually crit. And there's a bunch of allies here, and sometimes they just hit the guy out of... or usually they hit the guy out of cover. And if they kill him quickly, well, less enemies on screen, less movement time. The usual. Hopefully he doesn't get popped. Doesn't look like it. Going for the backliners first, because this is in range of more people. So you might as well. Sweet. Twin Strike usually has a very bad hit chance, despite the percent readings that would indicate otherwise. So I'm quite glad that one hit. Come on. Okay, thank you. You always want to, if possible, you want to kill the mages as soon as possible, because they can heal, which A has an animation and B obviously heals hit points, so that's nice. That guy who just moved out usually barricades himself behind this set of crates back there, and that takes some time. Okay, kill him. Bugger. Not enough ammunition. That's something you always need to keep track of, which is also why you've seen me switch between two different modes of fire, which is basically burst fire and full auto. The difference between the two is that full auto pulls people out of cover and can't crit, which means its actual potential damage output isn't too terribly high. And it also uses more bullets, but obviously it's better against people in cover, so you want to use burst fire whenever possible because it does the most damage. Oh no, that's the thing I didn't want to happen. Can position her here though. Okay, he's in there. It's really weird because you can't move into spots where other characters are, which is intuitive, but not really helpful in that regard. We end the turn here because we have no people in range, and yeah, we're losing time because of Because of the mistake earlier on, the reload. But we're still on pace. We're still firmly ahead of the world record. Missing half my nose bone. What? Oh, okay. Something like that, yeah. Okay, so that's human debris done. A very fitting mission name. Yep. Still 2.5 minutes ahead. So we're still good. Still on pace. Now I need to remember to talk to Beckenbauer. Because you need to talk to him first before you can claim the money, which you need to actually complete the mission. Or rather, which you need to buy equipment, which you need to complete the next mission. At least in my route, so... Okay. Using the backside waypoint there to get more acceleration. There we go. We don't actually need to talk to Paul Amsel here. Oh, I'll level on the way back. It's not really sensitive here. Basically, all we do now is put all of our karma into quickness and ranged combat, because those allow us to carry better weapons, which we want to light people up. Nice. You don't always... Sometimes you stay in front of this fence, which is a bit slower. FNH is a very good weapon, because it not only does it have a very high damage code, but it also pierces 2 armor, which means that no matter how much armor you have, a certain amount will always... well, it will be reduced by an amount. And the way crits work is that they don't do a set amount, but they just check how much damage... how much damage went through the armor, so only a certain amount can crit in that regard. So that's nice. Yep, that was good. So, this is the prototype mission, and it's great. We're basically stealing a cybernetic troll. And he has the same rotary gun that the big orc in the first mission had. Also, he has a giant fucking axe, and he murders people. And he murders them brutally. Right now, we know that in the engine there is a glitch where you can overwrite your main character with a character in your party. It's a glitch we use in Shadowrun Hong Kong any %. And I just didn't think that there would be an application for that in this game. But Kawaii Thulu, who's also very active, pointed out that you could just clone the MKVI, which would be absurd because that guy has stats out the wazoo, 84792. So, if you could become said troll, you would probably just be able to blaze through the game with one character without a problem. Because that thing is insane. He's got 10 armor, no 11 because he's a troll and has got +1 natural armor. He's got 4 action points if you hack him with a hacker, which is why we have Blitz on this mission. He's insane. Like, you will see that. He crits for like 24 and 30 on certain shots when you shoot, and he shoots 2 bullets, so it's insane. Scroll's a little bit hard to get, so I'm glad I got it. Here you will see another application of karma sliding. Karma sliding does not work if the targets you are trying to slide through are already hostile, but the captain here wants to negotiate first, so you can just karma slide, walk past everyone, enter the elevator at the end of the hallway, and you're good. And as you will see, it's a bit crowded in here. You can usually 2-turn these with a cyber zombie, but it's much easier to just slide past. So yeah, here's a conjurer, certain guys. Yep. So we want to kill them, but we don't really need to. It's great. So one way this mission can go is... Wait, why are we low on action points? That's not good. Usually you have 2 here. So usually what happens is this mission can get a bit hard casually because you have to deal with these riggers. They will overwrite your control of the... That's really bad. That's really, really bad. They will overwrite your control of the cyber zombie and turn it against you because you have stolen said cyber zombie, and you should not be able to actually control it. So they want it back. But we're Shadowrunners, and we're not giving it back. We're not in the business of doing that. So we want to kill these riggers to prevent them from taking back our cyber zombie because he's nice. Okay, good. Reload. Can't kill the other guy. I don't think he has a grenade. If he does, he'll toss it here. The AI is basically coded to automatically toss grenades on clusters of more than one person. Also, there was something strange here because the team didn't trigger when we entered the room. That usually doesn't happen. I know it's another SGDQ, AGDQ trope or whatever, but that literally doesn't happen often. Or that has never happened before. Holy crap. Wait, that's the wrong character. Cram. So Cram is speed, essentially. It gives you free action points. It doesn't take you any action points to use. So you just become faster, that's all it is. Okay. Nice. Can actually start moving up ego. That's not normal. I think it really helped that the other team, the B team, came in a little bit later. But yeah, that's like 17 damage base through armor without anything. And if we could become this troll for our main character, I wouldn't be sad about it. We reload here because we want to double move as much as possible to maximize our movement. And we need a full clip for the last room because we need to kill a bunch of guys. Oh, that's a bit risky. As I said, like handling classes of people is a bit problematic. Sometimes you click on the people, and then your control moves over to them, and you have to do something else. Then it's very annoying, but something that can't be fixed, unfortunately. Come on, move him up. Also, something special about the Vanquisher minigun, which this guy is using, you have to spend 2 action points to reload, because it takes so long. There is an augment which allows you, or which is basically the equivalent of a cybernetic enhancement, that allows you to reload in 1 turn, but we don't have it on the troll and we don't really need it. I didn't reload the Vanquisher. Bugger. Oh well, it shouldn't be too bad. That's bad. We should have a target here. Like this. So this is a bit auto-scrollery, but not too bad. There's a part later on which would be a full-on auto-scroller and take like 14 to 15 minutes, but Tetronic found a spot which completely circumvents that. Basically, you stand in a spot, and the drone says, I need to move to this area, but it can't, because there's a guy standing there, so it just sits there and shoots you. And you hit end turn, 10 times and you're done. Which is a bit silly. Okay, I'll reload it now because I'll need it for the next set of guys coming in. Ah, that's annoying. Oh, come on. Okay. Got there in the end. Can't electrocore that. There's not a lot of people out of cover right now. Greetings from Frames. Long time runner, third time viewer. I am donating because my Frames has died in Germany. Yeah. Frames are dying. Police forces are dying. Actually, dogs won't be dying, so I guess that's a plus. But yeah. Oh wait, this guy's already out of cover. Anyways, butcher him. Kill that guy up because he has a lot of armor. So, on the next group you will see something exclusive to the Vanquisher cannon. Basically, if there's it blows out so much Daka that the guy in front of the target will also get hit by a full auto burst. So what happens here is usually 2 guys stack up here, 2 guys stack up here, and you just blow them all to bits with 2 bursts. That's what usually happens. We'll see. Yep, setup's good. And good night. Splat. Splat. Yep, as I said, this may not be an FPS, but we have plenty of lead around. Plenty of lead. Oh, okay, this guy. Right, there was something about that one. So, we just need to kill these 2. What? I'm not quite sure how to respond to that. Alright. Shots have indeed been fired. Yep. Alright, so that's prototype done. Basically, you have a couple of things. You can, in the story, you have a couple of options. You can either send it to an underground or resistance unit, which will use it to blow up corporate stuff. You can just kill it on the spot to put it out of its misery, which it actually wants, or you can just send it to your client. We just send it to our client because it gives the most money. And we actually need to unlock the second part. So, how here we're getting ambushed. Well, we can fix that. Yep, thank you for the ban. I think that was the only correct response. So we need to do a bit of menuing here. Then we basically flip the breakers, and surprise, surprise, we're getting met by gunfire. Alright. So theoretically you can kill all these fools in 2 turns. I don't think that will happen, because it's really rare. Basically we need to pull him out of cover with... Yes, that's a good start. Okay, now Blitz needs to be an absolute boss and blow him up. Ooh. too bad. Well, we can still go here. We use that position because now he's flanked, so he's flashed out of cover and will move somewhere else. And now this guy has a clear shot. I do that because that guy has the most DPS. The FNH is an absolute absurd weapon. Come on, kill him. Sweet. Okay, so that was a 2-turn. That is really nice. I will reload the gun. Oh, never mind, I don't actually have to. No, please don't open the door. Okay, lucky. A small update on the world record counter, by the way. We are currently up 3 minutes 30 on the world record. Okay, let's open this. English language, hard language. I feel like the chat is a bit delayed, but I guess that's due to restreaming. So we full auto burst this one out of cover. Never mind, we just kill him. That's also something we can do. Switch to Eager here because she has a better hit chance. Now don't forget to cheers. I'm doing my best here. That might be a gold split. That is a gold split by 30 seconds. Holy crap. That was pretty good. Yeah, even without the new strats, this run is insane, and we're about to save like 20 more minutes somewhere down the road. So we're good for world record, I think. So, Kreuzbazar 3, claim, gold split. Yeah, like, we Gucci. We Gucci. So here, we first need to claim the cash. Haipu! I need to walk away. Talk to this guy. So basically now, note how the second pop-up wasn't yellow because the game doesn't intend for you to not talk to him without order, but it still stored the conversation, so it's alright. So we're doing a bunch of leveling here. Alright. Okay, so we're good for leveling. That. Whatever. Let's just mash through this. You can be a bit more precise if you do this later. Or rather, if you go a little bit slower, you can save 3 to 4 text pop-ups, which equate to like maybe a second or two. So here we're getting a little bit of equipment, basically a dermal plating and some more hit chance for our guns. We need the dermal plating because we need to have 8 quickness and 8 ranged combat at a certain point in time to basically equip the best gun in the game. But we also need 5 body in this upcoming mission, or in the not in this upcoming mission, but in the next one, because otherwise they will basically find out that you are lying to them and will kill you or attempt to. And to circumvent that, we need the additional body, which we get from the Ares dermal plating. So we basically bump up our stats for this mission. And basically the section we're doing, or which is upcoming, is my favorite mission, because you're basically going to a giant fucking research facility and you level it. That's all you do. Best gun, you're talking about that T22 250 Defy, and I'm getting follows. Let's just delete those scenes. Okay. I'm not streaming on Studio either way, so hopefully loading is done by now. No, not yet. Ah, it didn't start. Alright. I got rid of the scenes though, so we have no more pop-up audio. I promise that. So yeah, that shotgun is also pretty good. So this is a hard stop. There's 3 I know in the game. This is one of them. You can't karma slide past it. It's hard coded to stop here. That's basically how everything in Shadowrun Hong Kong is coded, which is why karma sliding doesn't work there. And I need to find another loading screen or something. Basically, we're just making well, we're ensuring that cleaner that we're not burning down the house while we're in. Which is not, well, that's true, but we just destroy the comlinks of a certain police force. So, this level is weird, right? Normally you have to kill all these guys, but for some odd reason in this mission, if you jack out manually, all the guys you have, all the loaded enemies, just despawn. I don't know why it happens, or for what reason, but yeah. We end the turn here, so we get 3 movement points. Also nice clip here, that's not a passable tile usually. So we can move in one go, because it's faster and we don't need to click twice. And hitting enter and going there is much quicker. So, come on. Okay. Just needed to reopen chat. Dragonfall and shots fired. No, I don't mind if you will stay and listen for a while. Also, very interesting here. Your action point gets refunded if enemies spawn, so you actually can make it in one go over here. Yeah. So there's 2 more sets of enemies hidden here. Basically another set of ranged ice, which will which will be placed here, but we can just run past that, and there is another hidden melee ice somewhere down here. This whole section is huge because, by the virtue of only Blitz being in here, this is usually very variance heavy. There's very few ways to influence that, because you just have this persona and his programs to kill all the guys. So if something goes wrong, your strats go down the drain very, very quickly. So being able to just basically deload all the enemies here is really, really valuable. That used to be one of the highest variance areas in the run, and you just... It's a 3-minute segment now. It's really good. Yeah, we jack out again because we don't care. Usually you have a... You're disincentivized from doing that by your decker receiving dumb shock. We're 8 minutes up on the world record right now, by the way. Which means that you lose action points for this in the following turn, and you take a little bit of physical damage. If you're not in combat, though, the action points don't matter, because they are basically just... They are there, yes, but they don't matter. You can just jack in immediately. So that we use that. Again, using the far back waypoint. Nothing too special. Level up here so we don't get a karma pop-up. this run is especially tricky because you're raiding an S technology facility, and they are they are known for their blood magic and stuff like that. And there's one point where that I want to bring to your attention, where you can basically already hear the cultists chanting in the background, doing their blood rituals. I'm not getting these drive-bys here. Blitz and Duck. Okay. And it's really, really creepy. You will also have more Matrix combat in that section, which can be a bit tricky sometimes. Yeah, someone else alerted me to that. I don't know who exactly it was, but I always used the normal checkout method because I thought that, especially in Earwig, the alarm would go off, which would mean that you would have to fight these guys, but it doesn't. Here's another hard stop. You can't scroll past that, which is a shame, because you could just run to the Technic guy and go from there. So, Bloodline 312. Okay. Just scroll down a little. Oh, what happened there? So what we're doing right now is we're planning to go to the very basement of this building, overload the generators, and just have it incinerate. Which is great fun in my opinion, because as technology in general, they're assholes. They sacrifice guys to pump and increase their magic. Which is not necessarily something you would like to see. They would probably also do it to animals if it worked, so you could also involve Peter in that. I talked about deloading. It only works during Earwig, which is really weird. It doesn't work in any other spot. It's just this one mission. Kawaii Thulu summed it up perfectly, I think. He said, basically, Matrix sessions seem to be held together by tape, and I have to agree. It seems really weird. That's bad. That's really bad. Basically, this guy loads or charges his shot, but it is the longest animation. So just normally attacking is generally better for us, and the attack that just missed does 100 IP damage. No, wait, 125. 75 up front, and then 25 over the course of 2 turns. So that missing is very annoying, but we got him down nonetheless, so that's good. Damn it. I'm frigging new off jacking. Fair enough. So, basically we also have security cameras there, but by the virtue of being on a perfect cycle, we don't need the cameras because we know where the enemies are. Gross. Also high. High orbital beetle. So yeah, right now this guy's here and he's moving through that door. We're going over here, and if we mash fast enough, yep, we can get another clip going. Show that off a little. Ding. Here we are. Oh shit. Okay. That was a little bit slow. That could have gone wrong. If they get spotted down here, we're in trouble. But we're good. Yeah. So that was the pop. Yeah, Blitz is basically here. He always lags a little bit behind because he jacks in here, and he talked to the security guard. They basically have the same pop-up, so it doesn't really matter. No. Yeah, it's basically it's basically all of it. Shadowrun in general is a great universe and very fun to play in and meddle with. Like you have typical high fantasy stuff like sword combat and all that kind of stuff. You have mages of all varieties. You've got paracritters, which means like mind-sucking octopuses and stuff like that. It's really great. A little bit absurd at times, but really great. So yeah. Basically, Powell updates us that we still haven't triggered any alarms, which won't change until we actually overclock the generators. Here we use another karma slide. Usually we get stopped in the middle of this, but that's slow, so we store this action here, wait until the door opens. Looks like we didn't hit it. Anyways. Blimey! Yeah. Slimy, blimey octopuses. Or octopods? Or whatever. Octopus things. So we really want this to hit. Okay, that's good. He's very squishy, but he can cast Protect, which reduces incoming damage by 25 IP per hit. And that's really annoying, because we need to kill these guys ASAP. We're not summoning our program yet, because it has very bad range, and I don't want to waste a couple of actions just sitting there, or just hitting nothing. The animation is very slow, as I said. And it only has like to that range, probably 25% hit chance, so we want to avoid that. That's pretty good. Okay. Move up. We move the program up because as soon as we kill this guy, we open the blast door. Okay. This attack has a little bit of a better hit chance, which is why I triggered it from back there. Otherwise, you have 50% from here, and you've got 70 something from here, so you always want to move up. Okay. Shoot him down, use the program to open the blast door. Run out. Check out. Donezo. Alright, so one more Matrix session coming up. That should be Bloodline. 231. By the way, you can't mess up any of these conversations. If you do, everything goes to shit. Like, this guy starts firing, there's 2 security guys, you have another checkpoint coming up. So you have to hit it. You can hear the chanting now, by the way, if you listen closely. Suffer through it here. That's what we needed it for. If we don't have enough body, we can't suffer through it. We don't have enough other stats to ignore his control thingy, essentially, and then we're in trouble. Okay, Bloodline 131 is the last one. And these are the guys that are getting sacrificed. Oh, bugger, I messed up. It's not too bad, though. I flipped it. It's 313, not 131. Oh no. Where did he get shot from? Please don't tell me those caught. Okay, that one's down. So here we use Cram to boost our movement and everything, because he has a control panel that we need to hack to leave this building, and obviously want to do that as soon as possible. Yep. Okay, that's good. So let's overcharge the generators. Okay. I body that conversation. A plus pun there. I love these kinds of things. Check in. Oh, by the way, you'll see the best computer programming coming up, or rather the best AI. It's so great. So you move to this spot, and the ice just gets confused. They move up, everything is normal, but you will see what happens in the next cycle. Play the same song again! They'll just do this over and over until they're dead. It's great. You can just sit there, you don't have to summon the program because this is just faster. And just kill everything. I hit end turn there. I hope it didn't take a matrix turn off of me, because if it has, we might be trouble. This is also a slight problem. Or rather, you can't jack out manually here, because you will get dump shock and then you will just sit there for a while and the other people will take actions, which is annoying. Okay, we didn't end the turn there when I jacked in. That's good. So that is Bloodline done. Who's that? That's Glory. I need to move her first, otherwise she won't have line of sight, which is an issue. She actually can't make it. I should have pumped her in the first turn, then she would have had enough action points to get out. So that was a slight punt on my part, but nothing too terrible. Hey, that's another gold split? That's pretty hard to believe. So yeah. That is what remains of the building. Blown to bits. Not a gold split. Not by 8 seconds. But we're good. We're still 8 minutes ahead. And yeah. So basically now what we've done is we collected enough money to pay off Alice, who's sitting in her dream world and doing all the hacking stuff. And we basically go back to the rabbit hole, which is the station, or the station's name, which is quite fitting. And we basically pay her, and she will be chased by an AI and very, very unhappy with her current condition. So this is a bit messy. I need to do a lot of leveling here. We need to do all this right now because we have a section coming up where we need all of this. Wait a second. Go back. Alice Fund. So we want to transfer, but we can't. Where did I pick up the 8 minutes? That's a good question. Prototype. Basically what we did was we skipped the first fight. So that's 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes maybe. I used to fight in the, or rather in the World Rocket Splits, I used to fight in Drogenkippe, which is another 3 to 4 minutes. And the rest was just good execution. I mean, things like that happen, right? God damn it. At least I'll have some things to improve. So, level up. Okay. Got everything done. That's good. But yeah. Okay, now we got the drive-by. Welcome to the chat room. Something like that. Yeah, I didn't do the vault. When I did that Aztec run, I managed to ghost all the way in. Yeah, it got unpleasant. It gets unpleasant real quick. We don't have We don't have to fight any of these, but if you trip the alarm early, it gets ugly very, very quickly. They basically send a high threat response team, which is basically the equivalent of a SWAT team, and they will flush you out. It's really hard to kill all these boys. So we need to level here, good. Because we want 8-8 for the following session. Now, we remember that lovely orc. He just killed Paul Amsel. Basically, we return to a Kreuzbazaar being on fire. Like, literally on fire. Okay. Sometimes you can get the input here. Usually you don't. And remember that tame dog? Turns out he's a hellhound. He's not all that nice. Okay, that's good. Petrify is really good because, as I said, no action points means he's essentially dead. It's always a bit of a roulette with Dante. That means he's dead. That's good. If we double crit, the other guy's dead. What? That must have been a low roll. Yep. No, that's a bit annoying. He should. Wait, he didn't get. He will take out. He won't. Come on, Dante. Nice. And yes, he's called Dante, so very fitting for. Considering that we just had. What's it called? Devil May Cry as a run prior to this. So basically right now we have all the members of our team scattered across Kreuzbazaar. And we need to pick them. That's really bad. So what do we need to do here? We need to hope this crits so he doesn't have any AP. That's good. Okay. So that salvages it. This guy won't fight if you are in this position. But you really need that guy not doing anything, because otherwise he will summon a spirit, which is very slow. Come on. Fuck off. We'll just go to the shotgun next turn. Okay, he doesn't move, that's good. Could probably kill him like this. Can't, okay. Was greedy. Come on. That's what I said, when people are in melee, things get messy. Because it's really hard to actually select these guys. I'm sorry that I can't read chat right now, this is a bit tense in general. Okay. That's bad. Close enough though. No. Come on. Thank you. He just wants a soy jerky. Yeah, we just have to feed him properly. So here you see us running fast. Now we need to decelerate, because if you run... Okay, we actually lost 2 action points. That's a bit annoying, but not the end of the world. If you run into scenes too fast, basically if you do the scrolling that we do all the time, sometimes the characters start with negative movement points because the program recognizes them being too fast in general. It's a bit annoying, but it's fine. Oh, come on! That guy lived on like no HP. Always keep the mage, that is correct. Okay, hopefully that crits. Keep the mage, no sledgehammer, yep. That's what we do. So, we move him over here to strip his armor. Because that means burst fire should kill him. If we hit. Okay. Okay, that's him done. I mean, a point-blank shot to the face usually is the cure for most ailments, right? That gets rid of a lot of troublemakers. So now, what happened is they didn't limit themselves to setting everything on fire, splitting up our team, and trying to kidnap everyone, but they also placed bombs beneath Kreuzbazaar. And we need to defuse those, otherwise everything will go to hell. Luckily, this is like most of this is pretty deterministic. So it's a pretty safe split, but still. It's the cure for most ailments, and the city's very sick. Well, most sprawls in Shadowrun are very sick, right? That's why there are so many runners around. So we move him here to get vision. With Eager, always throw the phosphorus grenade first because it is armor piercing, which means the armor will be stripped, which means the frag grenade does more damage. Classic 99% miss. Kill this one. Never mind. Don't kill this one. Good. Run him in, because we need him closer to the bomb. Also, that prevents Dante from taking damage. Not that it would really matter in this mission, but still. You want to use the hit points of your characters as resources as much as possible. It's a bit annoying that we still have 3 people alive here. Probably should have just gunned down that orc, but... Was it an elf? Might be an elf. But... can move here. Do that. Sweet! Use the bomb as a free action because we're right next to it. Blow up this guy. Kill him. XCOM. Yeah, nothing like getting XCOM when you're on a good pace, right? But that's what I like about this game as well. Actually getting XCOM'd. For those unfamiliar, getting XCOM'd is a term for basically getting or missing a 99% shot and stuff like that. It's really infuriating. But it happens. So, here we come to a nice position. Basically, Iga can stand here, and she can see through this little sewer thing. And they don't respond. You can just gun them down. So basically, we clear the room except for 2 targets, and then we leave it. Come on. Just kill him. Not quite. It's a bit annoying if these 2 are a bit slow in general, because it means that you have to deal with the camera skipping between these certain factions, but oh well. Got him. So that's 2 down. Relocate here. We need these 2 at the door to finish this. Life answers to most things. Yep. Spirit's kind of used too. That's a good hint, thank you. I don't really use spirits all that often, I'll be honest. Oh, I forgot this guy was still alive. These 2 are bad. Should feel bad. Okay, that's good. That means we can open the door next turn. We just need to kill this one. Okay. Next turn. Open here. Kill the Conjurer first, just in case something goes wrong. The main character really isn't in the mood to actually kill people today. It's a little bit annoying. Right. That's why you always keep the mages first. Okay. More Daka. Yeah, we're losing a little bit of time here. Not actually losing, but it's not a goal split. You can be an otherworldly elemental. Yes. Okay, so we're 8 minute 20 up, which is decent, and we have the biggest time save yet to come. So we're on pace. Yeah, this section we just went through is fairly consistent because you only have small contained fights, and if you run this game enough, you know how to react to different situations, as it is with most things. Just go here. Right, he's a little bit further back. So we need cash, and now we're buying the best gun in the game. Ares Alpha. At least for range DPS. For range DPS, this gun is the nutter butters, as they tend to say. So we need this guy, this one. Go. Yes, I am doing the Apex Rising cheese. It saves like 14 minutes. There's no reason not to do it. Hype! Hello, Hawk Boy. Yeah, like if we're running the fastest route, I might as well cheese Apex Rising. As I mentioned before, you can just you can block the movement points of the drones, and if you don't kill the drone, you don't if you don't kill the drone, the subsequent waves are not spawning, so you can just out-tank the drone and win the game. It's a little bit absurd. Okay, so this guy wants to talk to us, but we just come a slide past it, so we don't have to re-accelerate later on. I mean, it's literally just, you kill the thugs, you position one of your characters on the exact same spot, and it's fine. Like, it's not that hard. You can do it. So here we basically, there is a gang war going on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. There's a gang war going on, and it's between a magic gang, and it is between a, like, let's call it physical gang, and the Arbeiters in front in front of the building. In front of the building are the mundane gang, so they're not magical, they want to solve all the things, and the other guys are, we use another karma slide here to get the pop-up later. 212, I think. 232. Okay. This one's fine. So basically, we have different ways to handle this. We can kill everyone here, we can just do some conversations, which is faster. You can side with whatever side you want. The Magickas are basically just trying to extract everything from the people here. Yeah, this section is very different to everything else in the game. I mean, Apex Rising in general makes up for it, because it's more of a complex situation you're faced with. But in general, this is more like a conversation hell. You have to talk a lot. Especially if you look at Pokemon speedruns like Spinner Hell, this is probably comparable, even though not as RNG heavy. I wonder if you can clip through here if you really want to. You probably can. Might save some time. Need to research that. So we got the parts here. No. So now this is the loading lag for the Magicus gang, so we now know where the hideout is. So we come guns blazing and play the Ghostbusters. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters. Yeah, here's another point where you need to decelerate before a panel, because if otherwise you slide in past the door, which you don't want. Because you can't get terminal velocity here either way, so... these guys always do the same. The first turn of them is scripted. This fight used to be a bit of an RNG cannon if you can one-turn it or two-turn it. Now it's very easy, because they just go behind cover, but instead of being in front of the room, you're here. So you're basically in their lines, up in their grill, and you can start blowing them to pieces. So, what I want you to do is... Okay. That should be him dead, though. Whoop. That's a bit annoying. That's very annoying. We also need to kill this guy this turn, because otherwise he'll summon a trash spirit, which is really annoying. Okay, good old XCOM going to work here. At least we only have mages left, so nothing too tragic. Just switching to the characters who probably have the most DPS for the position. So here we grab the key. I grabbed the flamethrower. It used to be part of an old strat, but send this to trash. It's basically an equipment for Dante, or rather mages in general, that is very powerful later on. And if we will hold the pace that we have right now, I will have a lot of time on my estimate, because all the strat changes that are about to save a lot of time happened in the last week. So we have a lot of time, and I can probably show off the true ending, which means you get to see two endings, which is pretty cool. So you can get a drive-by here. Okay. No, I missed it. It's a bit annoying. Otherwise, you're right next to this and can start the animation for that. Yes, you put a flamethrower on the dog. It's not necessarily an item, as the name would suggest. It's a spell, and Dante is magically awakened, so you can use the flamethrower. I mean, to be fair, putting a normal flamethrower on a dog and using him as an assault dog would also be pretty cool. I'd be down for that. I mean, in the lore in general, like, people do all sorts of stuff with animals. Like, they put Like, they wire their reflexes so they're faster. They put in all sorts of mechanics if they want to. I mean, no one would ever trouble you with you would never have trouble with actually robbing, or robbers in general, because that would be the talk of the town, I think. So, Tectonic uses a strat here where he uses Dante instead of my current setup, which allows him to open the doors in one turn, or rather start the communion in one turn, because you need to flip two switches here, one here, but I can't do that. Because I don't have Dante with me, so I don't have the additional movement tile, which would amount to 3 more movement tiles, which is exactly enough. As you can see, we'll end up here, which is just 3 short. Overwatch. And Iga will start blasting people to bits. We actually don't want to kill the drone. Usually need to blow them up, but if this one doesn't die, we don't have troubles with additional waves, which is incredibly fast. Usually, like, for comparison, this auto-scroller usually takes like 15 to 20 minutes. If you do it, if you cheese it, not even a fraction of that time. So now we need to put Blitz on this tile, I think. So if it works. I mean, it will become more silly. Tectonic, is it this one or the other one? Is it one over? Because it would be really bad if it wasn't. Actually, can just pump her up and actually move her to that position, just to make sure that both are blocked. Take the face. I have no idea. Maybe because it's an AI and it's not actually good with people. But taking the face of your friend, suggesting like, yep, I'm the good guy, probably not the best idea. Especially because you, I mean, you maybe remember it from the start. So now, like, this is the last waypoint, so it will just sit here and shoot. Otherwise it will move in and try to destroy this terminal, but it doesn't. So that's about Apex Rising done. And Blitz is taking it like a champ. And that's Apex Rising done. Credits to Tectonic. He found that shit. Lag. Okay, what you saw there was like if you click fast enough, you can skip through the situation. I don't know why I have control of Glory. Okay, looks like we're back in. Why am I Glory? This is did we soft lock? Okay, no we didn't. Whew. Usually you're loading into half-health mana. And that's the short flash of people you saw there. So right now, we are ahead 19 minutes and 57 seconds. So we should be good. So now we have another glitch coming in. I showed off clipping twice already. This is where it really shines. This is another hard stop, by the way. Can't get past that. You have to stop here. Yes, absolutely confirmed. And we're saving another bunch of time in this upcoming thingy. As I said, like, it was just a world record with old strats. Like, we didn't implement the new strats yet, but it's still pretty good. Like, in general, the pace of this run is very, very good. So now what we do here is we unequip the safety trauma kit we picked up earlier and give it to Dante. Because of reasons. We may or may not be a gigantic asshole at the end of this run. We will see. So, unequip. Re-equip. Came back to haunt you? Usually, saving the AI helps you more than anything. Come on, Ego. Okay. So we've got a Hellhound coming. There's another pen of, I think, 3 Hellhounds back there, and this one somehow snuck out and no one noticed. I don't know why, or how that happened. But bad ending. Yep. Yep. 4168. So, if you are doing the route that Tectonic does, you don't have to kill these people because you can just clip through the wall and go somewhere else essentially, and skip 2 fights entirely. I have to do it this way because I am using the route where I use a team. Like, duh. So I need to clear these guys here, because otherwise Dante really wants to go back to his master and run so fast that he triggers different fights and completely ruins everything. Kenshiro. I think I complied with his demands most of the time, so that's good. He's not okay. They're both out, so this is easy. They don't get turns until they're dead. And as you can see, this weapon is bonkers. Ego. Thank you. Okay. So now things get interesting. Everyone is set up. Let's go! Let's clip through the fucking wall. As you can see, our character's running through the wall. We should wake up a gargoyle very soon. There we go. That's the gargoyle. And now we're just sliding, because we're locked in. We can't mash anymore. But he'll just trail off. Cheers. That means a lot to me. So we unlock the freight doors, and now we need to take down this gargoyle. We actually have to evacuate Dante, because sometimes he can just run quickly enough. I'm actually planning on doing, for some odd reason, just this Rigamoose, by the way. I'm actually planning on doing all missions at some point, but I want to get a good time in Hong Kong first, and stuff like that, so... Okay, so I need to be quick here, because Dante really wants to meet me. Okay, that's entry. Alright, and you saw all the enemies there? You usually have to gun them all down. We're now ahead 24 minutes and 21 seconds. Good trick, right? We literally found that 4 days ago. Yeah, like these games are really worth it. Like they don't have cutscenes, they don't have any actual nothing is talked out. Like everything is text, but the writing is absolutely marvelous. It's really great. So if you have nothing to do and a sail and something like that, it's great. It goes very differently with teammates. Yeah, like you have to kill the gargoyles to actually. We will eat a grenade here. You will have to kill the gargoyles to actually prevent Dante from running in and triggering the fight. Because as soon as you're in combat back there, you can't evacuate your whole team and then everything goes to shit. Okay, that's good. Good night. No, come on. Bloody melee range. I mean, if you're into, like, classic turn-based strategy games in general, this is probably good. Yep, it's 51fulgrim. It's actually my old StarCraft clan. It used to be 51fail. If anyone knows the Atosis pylon, that's why. That's a 51fail. It's a parallel quell, if that's a word. That's really good. It's both. Like, they build upon each other, and there are some characters in Dragonfall that are also... That's not great, though. Do I go about that now? Okay, that worked out. Okay, shoot him. Shoot him! Just next turn here, because he's dead next turn either way. Yeah, without much relation, that's pretty bad. There's some correlation between the storylines, which is cool. For example, you have some characters showing up, but that's about it. Okay. Use the Shadow Keeper here, because it's basically an armor killer. That guy's very armored. Okay. I wouldn't know what the Nikita is, but if you're starting a comparison, maybe? I mean, it has to have a reason you're thinking of that, right? Oh, that's bad. Pump up the gem, please. Hopefully hit this guy and knock him out. Solid shot. I have to admit I never played Metal Gear Solid. Haunted Noodle Machine. Ooh. I only ever owned Nintendo consoles, so that might be why. This is a touch awkward. That's helpful though. That's really good. That sound of breaking you heard there, that means I completely broke his armor. Like nothing's left. Everything he ever loved, stripped it down. Okay, fair enough. We'll see about that. Okay, that's good. Yeah, that's why we took Flamethrower. 49 damage crit. And if you sit this guy on ley lines, he does even more damage. I've seen him crit for like, I think 68 is the highest I've seen him crit. It's a bit absurd. There's a different strat here where you can clear everything. I used to do that, but it's quicker to just run through. Which is a bit sad because I like combat optimization, but that's just how it is, I guess. Also, for some odd reason, if you take AP damage on the very first turn of combat, if you didn't initiate it, the combat that is, you don't take the AP damage. So even if they had targeted me with AP grenades or stun bolts or stuff like that, it wouldn't have mattered. So, posturing these two guys out in the open, because that means they get priority to get attacked, because they automatically attack people who are easier to attack, and we want them to be low. Okay, we can still reach the door. That's a bit much. Please stop shooting my main character. I would appreciate it. It's nice. More Daka on that woman, please. Good. So... okay, these two need to leave ASAP. Make sure they take as little damage as possible. Has a flamethrower, yep. Sounds like the... there's a dog camping my ley line. Yeah, something like that. Okay. Maybe she dies here. I mean, she won't have a turn for a while, which is not great. And basically everyone is throwing grenades. That is not supposed to happen. Usually you should just run through and you're good. But apparently everyone wants to get in on the fun. Glory is still standing. Oh, sweet! That's actually really good. We want it to be as low as possible, and that's basically as low as it gets. Yeah. That was something. So, now we have a bunch of choices. We figure out that the guy who has been messing with us was not actually the dragon. It was the guy who shot down the dragon in the first place, and he wants to use the dragons to basically kill all other dragons. He derived a toxin that kills all dragons as soon as it hits the air, and he wants to release that via Feuerschwinge, the dragon that made Dragonfall in Germany. Haha, there we go. And now we basically say, yeah, I think you're right, we should kill all dragons. So these two go, hell nah, and want to kill us. Or rather, we have to kill them. Dante, being the good dog that he is, says, well, I guess I'll munch on some other guys, it's fine. And you can kill them. Hopefully. Okay. That should be sufficient because she has hurt as much. Okay. It's number one down. That's why we have the backup kits. Because if we die here, the run is over. Never make a deal with the dragon. Yep. So that's probably what he thought as well, and just wants to kill all dragons. And turns out if you kill all dragons, the ecosystem gets a little bit out of whack, and magic goes all over the place. Okay, that's her dead. Alright. Dragons in Shadowrun are kind of a big deal. Yeah, they are literally the biggest deals. Why won't we kill all dragons? I don't know, Volclair probably has some PTSD. I literally don't know why you would kill all dragons. Basically, in the end, it turns out that the dragons are the anchor of all mana. That's still a fair bit faster, like 1.5 minutes saved. So we're now 26 minutes ahead. Are the anchor of all magic in the world. So by killing them or getting rid of them, like everything, like basically there is a scourge at the end of every Shadowrun cycle. And it comes, like a lot of magical critters come out and kill everything. And by killing the dragons, he expedited that by a fair bit. So basically now every dragon in the world has died 2 years later. And we get a bunch of magical phenomena that indicate a soon coming Armageddon, and that's exactly what happens. So now as we get input on basically everything, Sydney has turned into a giant mana storm that has just vanished off the face of the earth. So yeah, it's basically all the new stats. Like, we found them in the last week and I hadn't had time to make a coherent recorded run. But it's nice. New strats are always cool. Okay. Yeah, basically absolute chaos. Magic everywhere, everyone kills everyone. Oh wait, no. Like, a lot of shit happened. Volclair kills himself. Everyone is happy. We drink a bottle of liquor with Audran and wait for the world to end. Happy ending! Yay! Yeah, 40 minutes ahead of estimate. I will show off the true ending. We will get the final fight where we kill Audran. Because we are so far ahead. And... time. Woof! So... 1 hour, 56 minutes, and 37 seconds. Yeah... I was planning to collect enough info. Oh, you can talk him out of it? I never really tried that. And... like... let's face it, him kill himself is probably the best thing. Sub 2 hours, yeah, that's like... the new strats are big, but this run in general was pretty good. Like, that was very, very solid pace. So... yes. World record! In general, if you're up for more Dragonfall speedruns, feel free to leave me a follow at twitch.tv/51fulgrim. I run Dragonfall as well as Hong Kong, and I plan on running Returns. So there we go. Yes. It was also the other guys like Kawaii Thulu and T-Cut who do a lot of good stuff in that regard. So thanks to them. Clearly, yes, we also have a Discord, so if you go to speedrun.com and look for either Shadowrun Hong Kong or Shadowrun Dragonfall and hit the Discord button, you will find a link to our Discord server. So if you want to join, that's great. Oh yeah, great. Thanks to the restreamers, of course. I know it's not that easy in general, but thanks for having the time.